Alright guys, video by Marco the Phonix. Why everyone is watching One Piece now. So honestly, first thoughts, it's really just because Egghead is peak, and I mean Egghead was peak. I don't know what else to say. It's actually kind of crazy because I took like a 1 year or 2 year break from One Piece after the Wano arc ended and Luffy defeated Kaido, and I hadn't really been keeping up with One Piece or the manga. But then randomly, about a month ago, I see the trailer for Elbaf, and then I'm like, let me catch up to One Piece. So I watch Egghead, and it is peak. Kuma's backstory was peak. Um, Saint Saturn was also a great antagonist, and he was well written as a villain. We got to see the God Valley incident. Big Mom literally gave Kaido the dragon devil fruit, and Big Mom had almost gotten the pawpaw fruit as well. Luckily, Kuma ate it. But Egghead 10 out of 10 might be the third or fourth best arc in One Piece, right after Marineford, Enies Lobby, and potentially Arlong Park.
For 2 decades, One Piece was the impossible
And the manga's going crazy right now with Emu.
recommendation. You would try to tell you
And Loki's, there's some crazy theories that Emu was basically got a Sneeko or an Adam 22 pulled on them. There's like these crazy Obito Rin simp theories as well. Like low key, some people are thinking that Oda took inspiration from Kishimoto, just kind of going with this whole simp CUCK route. You know how it goes, bro. Um Basically, how do I explain this? So Emu to Vivi's ancestor might be like Obito to Rin, if that makes sense. Basically, Emu might be a simp. Okay.
your friend about this incredible story of a boy made of rubber, and they would ask one simple question: how long is it? When you tell them it was 1,000 episodes, their eyes
The worst part about One Piece is its pacing, hands down.
would simply glaze over. It was a barrier too high to climb. For the longest time, One Piece existed in its own bubble, massively popular in Japan, but a giant cult in the rest of the world. It was the show people intended to watch, but never actually started. But look around you now. Something shifted.
I mean, bro, even Naruto only has like 700 episodes, but One Piece has 1,000. It's kind of insane.
In the last 3 years, the One Piece is too long excuse has died a quiet death. Suddenly, the biggest creators on the planet, people who build their career on gaming, comedy, or commentary, are pivoting to
Speed.
become One Piece fans. From the
Yeah, I show speed, bro. Even Mr. Beast, bro. There's so many anime LARPers nowadays. Emiru dressed up as Asa from Chainsaw Man Part 2, and she couldn't even pronounce like her name correctly, like Asa Mitaka. Like Emiru couldn't even really like pronounce the name correctly. And Mr. Beast is also probably maybe a fake anime fan. I don't really know. I feel like I Show Speed is genuine. Even Kai Cenat, when he was like depressed or when he was like mentally ill or whatever, when Kai Cenat was like dealing with mental health issues, he started watching like Naruto, and then he said like he used to think that anime was for like nerds and losers, but now that he's watched Naruto, he kind of respects it, and he thinks that anime is super inspiring.
high
Oh my
budget
god.
Netflix adaptation to the internet shattering reveal of Gear 5, we are living through a cultural One Piece renaissance.
Bro, Gear 5 was like the second coming of Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan.
Today, we aren't just looking at why the show is good, we're looking at why the world and your favorite YouTubers finally decided to climb the wall. The first question should be, why now? And what does it say about the state of modern entertainment that a story from 1997 is currently the most talked about media on the planet? If
That's insane.
you want to track a cultural shift, look at the influencer economy. For 10 years, One Piece content was dominated by the dedicated core of YouTubers. They were the scholars of the Grand Line names like Tekken 101, Roger's Base, and Joy Boy Theories, Grand Line Reviews, and Ohara.
Yeah, Grand Line Review, Ohara. Yeah, I remember them. They're huge.
But around 2021, something
Bro, didn't Grand Line Review used to like? I feel like they used to review Hunter x Hunter a bunch, but maybe I'm wrong.
shifted. We started seeing people like Totally Not Mark, a creator known for Dragon Ball reviews, take a blind leap into One Piece. His series became a viral sensation because it allowed longtime fans to relive the magic through fresh eyes. It proved that One Piece wasn't just junk
Out of all of the big three animes, One Piece is the closest to its father, Dragon Ball. Luffy is also the most similar. Luffy is so similar to Goku. Naruto is too smart nearing the end of Shippuden. Ichigo is too serious. Like One Piece and even just the main characters, Luffy and Goku, they are so similar. They are the most similar out of, the big three for sure.
food shonen. It was literally masterpiece with foreshadowing that would make John R.R. Martin
Like Ichigo is nothing like Goku. Naruto is nothing like Goku, to be honest. At least in Shippuden.
swear. Okay, that's just exaggerating. I'm sorry, guys. I love Game of Thrones. Then came the Giants. Charlie, aka Most Critical, one of the most influential voices.
Yeah, bro, Moist Critical, I love what he's doing. His channel is like, I love how general his channel is because it's like, you would think this huge popular YouTuber would just maybe not even watch anime or not even be into something that used to be as niche as anime, and it's just like, it's just nice. He talked about the Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie. He talked about Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. Like, it's just nice. Yeah.
On the platform started giving One Piece his stamp of approval.
I am actually finally enjoying One Piece after 2 years
Did he watch the Egghead arc?
of committing time to watching this to see if I'll ever enjoy it.
When someone with that much
My question is, what arc did Moist Critical start enjoying One Piece? That's what I'm curious about.
normie reach calls a show peak, the floodgates open. Dude, for some reason I thought that I wasn't recording. Thank God. We also have to acknowledge the rise of reaction culture because the emotional payoffs are so heavy. Think about I Want to Live, or the Going Mayor's Funeral, or the Aces.
Yeah, even for Gachi, Akuda and stuff, like, I always watch kind of like reaction mashups. Even for like Classroom of the Elite, like, it's just kind of nice to see other anime fans' reactions to all this cool stuff, There are so many like videos of Shanks Kamsari versus Kid reaction mashups, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure there's one with maybe like 1 million views. Not sure.
Death with Whitebeard, so many iconic moments that are reaction worthy in terms of making your video go viral. This just simply provides perfect content for streamers. Watching a grown man sub over a fictional
What the? Wait, people are actually crying? Wait, hold
provides
on.
perfect content for streamers. Watching a grown
Actually, okay, to be fair, I think I saw Ace's death when I was maybe like, how long ago was it, bro? I watched One Piece was like my first or second anime. I believe, I was probably like 12 when I saw Ace's death, so I think I did cry a little bit. But I mean, this still just shocks me though. But hey, it just goes to show Oda knows how to write when he wants to, okay? Oda can write a proper death when he actually wants to. This is sick.
man sub over a fictional pirate ship is a rite of passage. This created a cycle. Creators watched it for views, they realized it's actually the best story they've ever consumed.
Bro, that's even crazier. So basically what he's saying is these reaction YouTubers started out just kind of chasing the bag, getting money because maybe anime was getting a little bit more popular, but then they realized like, oh, this shit is peak, this shit is fire, bro. That's literally what he said.
Creators watched it for views.
Creators watch it for views.
They realized it's actually the best story they've ever consumed.
I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, here's the thing. One Piece would not be this popular if it was a bad series. Like, it wouldn't be a popular anime if it wasn't good.
And then they genuinely advocate for it to their millions of followers.
Bro, even Gachi Akuda is peak, bro. I got Gachi Akuda as like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 right now. Like, Gachi Akuda, bro. If y'all haven't watched Gachi Akuda, y'all need to watch that. It's pretty good.
This isn't just following a trend, it's a realization. YouTubers are storytellers by trade, and they finally realized that Ichiro Oda is the final boss of storytelling. We cannot ignore the red-haired Shanks of this story.
Yeah, Kuma's backstory hit different, bro, but I'm surprised Oda's so open about kind of getting into like politics, you know, with Kuma's backstory and the Celestial Dragons. Like, I'm kind of surprised that Oda's this confident and that Oda's like this ballsy to really like lean in that direction, you know? It's a little bit risky.
Netflix. What? History.
You know what, screw it. Attack on Titan got away with it. I guess Oda can 100% get away with it, right?
Was against them. Death Note, Cowboy Bebop.
Damn right it
If Isayama can do it, so can Oda.
is, because Jet, you are black and you are male.
Dragon Ball Evolution. The track record for live-action anime was a graveyard of failures. When Netflix announced a One Piece show, the collective groaned.
Bro, there's even like a One Piece Popeyes collab. It's so random, bro, but purely because of One Piece, there's like random anime fans just getting the Luffy bento box and the Gum Gum lemonade and Chopper's cupcake.
From the community was deafening. But then something miraculous happened. They actually cared. Spearheaded by showrunner and superfan Matt Owens, did something the anime couldn't, made One Piece accessible. It took the wild, wacky, and sometimes alienating world of the East Blue
Kobe got the craziest glow up in anime. Like, literally, Kobe used to look like such a nerd.
and grounded it in a way that your parents, your non-weeb friends, and casual TV viewers could understand. It showed people the heart of the story, the camaraderie, the dreams, and the adventure of the Straw Hat without the 1,000 episode commitment. That data doesn't lie. Following the release of the live action, manga sales spiked globally. Crunchyroll saw a massive influx of new users starting from episode 1. The live
Bro, Crunchyroll needs to bring back the comment section, man. I don't know why they removed it. That was crazy.
action didn't replace the anime, it acted as the ultimate on-ramp. It proved that the soul of One Piece was universal. You don't need to like anime to like One Piece, you just need to like great stories. If the live action broke
Yeah, it's that simple because do you guys know how many non-anime fans there are that watch Attack on Titan, that watch Death Note, that watch Naruto? Like, there are people, they don't even watch anime, but there's anime like Death Note, Attack on Titan, Naruto, and One Piece, of course, where people will just kind of watch it.
in The Outsiders, Gear 5 was the signal to the veteran anime community that One Piece had reached its final form. In the world of anime, transformations are our Super Bowl. Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct, Variant Mood, these are the moments that define generations. But Gear 5 was different. It wasn't just a power-up, it was a subversion
Low
of
key though, the craziest part is transformations are awesome, but if we're talking about the best transformation in anime, hear me out, don't get mad. It low key might be Gon's transformation against Pido in the Hunter x Hunter Chimera Ant arc. And here's why. It subverted all expectations. it was a complete and utter sacrifice. Um, Togashi just knows how to write. I don't know. Um, it just Gon's transformation just hit in a different way. Like honestly, it hit in a negative way. Like when you see Goku get Ultra Instinct or become Super Saiyan, or you see Gear 5 Luffy, you're overwhelmed with this sense of happiness, this sense of joy, and this sense of belief that Luffy and Goku will defeat their enemies with this transformation. Now, you felt something similar with Gon's, well, let me not say similar, but with Gon's transformation into an adult Gon, you also felt this sense of, oh, he's definitely going to defeat Pito. But the emotional frequency was overwhelmingly negative. You had Killua crying out Gon, Killua just being sad, looking at what Gon had done to Pito and just what he's become. And Gon himself knew. Gon used everything. He gave away his entire soul. And honestly, even though Gon got his Nen reset or whatever, or he has to relearn how to use Nen, I feel like Togashi should have actually just let Gon die right there and maybe make Killua or Kurapika the protagonist, man, because if Gon had died like after that, the impact, it would have hit so much differently, bro. It really would have hit different.
The entire tough guy shonen trope, it was joyful, ridiculous, and animated with a Looney Tunes fluidity that defied everything we know about modern shonen anime. When Gear 5 debuted in the anime, it didn't just trend, it
Broke the internet just like Super Saiyan and Ultra Instinct.
broke the internet, literally. Crunchyroll's server struggles to keep up. It was a where were you moment. And when moments like this happen, everyone wants to be included. But more importantly, Gear 5 killed the I will watch it eventually mindset. In the age of TikTok and Instagram Reels, you can't hide from a spoiler of that magnitude.
Bro, you literally can't hide from spoilers. Also, spoiler alert, Jujutsu Kaisen manga. Bro, literally, I was like, I think I was done with school, and then I was literally just like walking home or whatever. I pulled out my phone. I literally opened up YouTube, JJK spoiler alert, and I saw Gojo like cut in half. I literally saw Gojo's body cut in half. From like a random anime channel, bro. It was a manga spoiler, and it was just Gojo getting cut by the world cutting slash. I was like, wait, what did I just see? Because I thought Gojo was going to win, bro. But nope, Sukuna was too strong.
People realized that if they
It really just hit differently though. Like I was so depressed. I was so sad. I literally didn't know what I was seeing. I genuinely, you guys got to understand, Gojo is probably my favorite anime character of all time. So when I saw Gojo get hit by that world cutting slash, I lost it, man.
didn't catch up now, they were going to miss the greatest cultural climax in the history of the medium. For years, the One Piece anime was criticized for its pacing and average animation. But during the Wano Country arc, Toei Animation shifted gears. They brought in international directors, young visionary animators, and a movie quality budget for weekly episodes. One Piece went from
Bro, it looks so nice, man.
being that long show to being the most visually impressive weekly anime on television. The eye candy finally matched the brain candy. And now let's talk about the length paradox. In our current
If One Piece had perfect pacing, if the anime had better pacing, it would probably, One Piece would genuinely already be the #1 best anime, like hands down, bro. And as long as Oda doesn't sell the ending, One Piece is likely going to, even for me, I will probably put One Piece above Naruto, above Attack on Titan, maybe even above Death Note, and like Hunter x Hunter, bro. Like, even Dragon Ball, bro. Like, it's just like, if as long as One Piece's ending is peak, it is going to be the #1 anime in all of history. Like, it's not even going to be close. People are going to have One Piece above Dragon Ball Z. They're going to have it above Naruto, which is going to end the Naruto versus One Piece debate. They are going to have it above freaking Attack on Titan, even above Death Note, man.
Era of content fatigue, we are drowning in 12-episode seasonal anime that we forget 2 weeks after they.
Also, I take back the Hunter x Hunter thing. While Hunter x Hunter personally is like my second favorite anime, objectively it's not close to One Piece. So I want to leave Hunter x Hunter out of there.
Air, we are starved for depth. One Piece offers something that no other modern series can: investment. When you watch Luffy struggle in the Korean arc, you aren't just thinking about the last 20 minutes, you're thinking about the boy who crawled out of the barrel in 1999. You're thinking about the 500 episodes of world building that led to this one specific punch.
Bro, when One Piece ends, you guys are gonna have to admit that Bleach is the worst anime in the big three. Because here's the thing. If One Piece has a great ending, then it's going to basically automatically be #1 because Naruto Shippuden's ending was horrible with, you know, the introduction of a random Otsutsuki, Kaguya, like, in Black Zetsu. It was so mid. But, what I'm trying to say is, when One Piece ends, it's going to like just officially be the #1 best anime in the big three. And it's going to be hard for Bleach fans to argue that Bleach is better than Naruto. I mean, come on. Bleach is literally just the worst in the big three. It's still a great anime, but it's not better than Naruto. It's not better than One Piece.
Because it's so long, finishing One Piece has become a
But I will say, it does have quite a bit of influence, and I love that Bleach was able to inspire domain expansions, you know, Ryoiki Tenkai from JJK.
badge of honor. It is a shared struggle. There is a specific bond between fans who have survived the Long Ring, Long Land arc.
Gotta admit, it does suit you. You look like a real prince. From the kingdom of lame asses.
Or the slow pacing of Dressrosa arc.
Yeah.
Tools like One Piece, the fan-led project that edits the anime to match the manga's brisk pacing, have made the journey easier. People are realizing that 1,000 episodes isn't a chore. It's a 1,000 episode vacation in a world that actually makes sense. Every island has a history, every villain has a motive, and every background character might become a legend 400 chapters later. In a world of fast food media, One Piece is the 12-course meal, and people are finally hungry enough to sit down for it. And there is one final urgent reason why everyone is watching One Piece right now, and that is the end is actually in sight.
Yeah, this is I think this is at 100% because yeah, I agree because with Egghead getting pretty serious, like it actually felt like something was happening. It felt like the tension is starting to build up. The introduction of Emu, it's just like One Piece has been going on for like 3 decades. Like, let it end, Oda. Let it end eventually.
Ichiro Oda has officially confirmed that we have entered the final saga. The mysteries are being unraveled. We are finally learning about the Void Century, the ancient weapons, and what Joy Boy left behind on that final island, Laugh Tale. This has created a global sense of urgency. The reveal of what One Piece actually is will be the biggest internet event in history. It will be bigger than Game of Thrones finale. It would be bigger than Endgame. No one wants to be the person.
Wait, bigger than Endgame? Oh my god, that's actually crazy. I feel like that's a little bit crazy to say, but I can see it, bro. Bro, that's still wild. Bigger than Avengers Endgame? Marvel? I mean, maybe, bro. Maybe.
Than Game of Thrones finale, it would be bigger than event in history. It will be bigger than Game of Thrones finale.
Bigger than Game of Thrones finale?
It would be bigger than Endgame. No one.
Oh my god, bro. Okay, fine. Fine.
Everyone wants to be the person who hears about on Twitter. Everyone wants to experience it. There's a collective desire to be part of the
Those are some bold words, though. That's all I'm gonna say. Bigger than Game of Thrones finale and bigger than Avengers Endgame. Maybe.
crew when the ship finally reaches its destination. People are binging 1,000 episodes in 3 months just so they can finally sit in the live theater of the internet when the final chapter drops. Just for example, the final chapter. And if you know what I'm talking about, you just simply know what I'm talking about, right? Everybody just simply wants to feel included. So why is everyone watching One Piece now? It's not just the
It's starting to get peak again. Now Wano arc, the pacing was like really bad, and Kaido felt a little bit underwhelming as a villain. The real highlight of Wano was, of course, just Gear 5 for me.
YouTubers. It's not just the Netflix show. It's not even just the animation. It's because One Piece
And even at first, I was still a little bit fuzzy on Gear 5. Like, it does really represent Luffy well and his freedom, but it does, I guess it kind of just changes the story a little bit, because with the introduction of like Joy Boy and Luffy potentially being Joy Boy's reincarnation and him being like a chosen one, it gets rid of a little bit of relatability, I suppose. And just Luffy's devil fruit was never the gum fruit, I guess. But honestly, I feel like for the ending of One Piece, this was a better, I feel like ultimately this was a good choice for Oda to make, especially just with Shanks being Shanks basically being the Kenjaku of One Piece, planning out everything, right? He fed the devil fruit to Luffy. I mean, Shanks, he planned everything.
This is a story about freedom in a world that feels increasingly restricted. It's about a group of outcasts who refuse to follow the rules of a corrupt system, choosing instead to follow their dreams, no matter how impossible those dreams seem. We are watching it now because in 2026, we need Luffy's optimism more than ever. We've realized that 1,000 episodes weren't a wall standing in our way. They were the friends we made, the tears we shed, and the world we explored.
That better not be what the One Piece is, though. The One Piece itself better not be like, oh, the friends we made along the way.
If you haven't started yet, you might feel like you're too late. But as any fan will tell you, the best time to start was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. And I guess
Awesome.
that's it, guys. Thank us for watching. Write in the comments.
Yeah, really great video. And yeah, I agree with his points. I think the main reason is One Piece is going to end soon. And honestly, I'm glad. Yes, I said it. I'm glad. Obviously, I know, obviously, like, we all love One Piece, but like it does need to end eventually. We need to just kind of know what happens.